Hello, Bio 113 lab students. I am Andrea Sharbenstein, the instructor for your course. This is going to be a short video to get all of you comfortable with navigating this course via Blackboard and our McGraw-Hill Connect that we'll be using. As soon as you get into our Blackboard page, you get to announcements. Anytime I post an announcement, I'll be sure to have that announcement emailed to you so that you're aware of what's going on each week. So next you want to go into getting started, which you obviously have given that you're watching this video. Next we have the syllabus with calendar that you are going to make your best friend. So if you open this up, you'll get a Word document pop up. I have it in PDF form because it's easier with screen capture and recording purposes. I'm going to get into this info just a bit, but be sure to read it all on your own. And like I said, make the syllabus your best friend. This course is the lab component to 112, the lecture intro course, which I'm also teaching right now online. It covers cell theory, genetics, energetics, evolution, ecology, basically everything from the cell to the ecosystem. So we're going small picture to big picture. So required textbooks and materials, you will have to purchase access for our McGraw-Hill Connect that we will be using. Course competencies are the same as the lecture. We're just applying those here in lab. For this course, you will have to take a proctored exam. KCTCS offers proctoring sites. If you can't attend a KCTCS proctoring site, you can find a library or military base, basically the same exact thing as lecture. Just find somebody that's willing to proctor for you and get me their information so that I can verify them and so I can get them the necessary materials to unlocking the test for you. The only test we're going to have in this course, same as online lecture, is the final, and that's the one you have to have proctored. So the sooner I know that you're out of state or you're not near KCTCS campus, the better we can get this squared away. How to schedule a proctored exam, we'll get into this as the semester goes on. You will not have any issues on scheduling a proctored exam through KCTCS campuses. Alright, withdrawal policy, same as lecture. I do not let anybody withdraw after the withdraw deadline, and you have to fill out the necessary paperwork. So if you want to withdraw, you need to get in touch with me. KCTCS institutional policies, read through these. Students with disabilities, go through our counselor. Already talked about this with lecture. Math and science division expectations, do not plagiarize, do not cheat. Email standards and etiquette, be professional. I get into detail in lecture video, so I don't want to get redundant here. 2017 important dates. Make sure you know these, keep a schedule, keep an agenda, jot them down so that you are aware of what's going on this semester. Course-specific info, we do virtual labs through McGraw-Hill. You'll have to buy access for that. I have a link in the announcements to buy directly so that you don't have to pay the bookstore price. It's more expensive at the bookstore. And everything is due Sundays by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Emphasis on Central Standard Time. I've had students just completely not understand that Blackboard is in Eastern Time, so I am telling you now, everything is due by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Blackboard will show it as an hour later because Blackboard is in Eastern Time. Unless you're in the Eastern Time Zone, then you're fine. But most of us are in the Central Time Zone, especially those of us at SkyCTC. So, again, everything is due Sundays by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's like that in McGraw-Hill's Connect. Blackboard is the only one that shows it an hour later. So please do not get that mixed up. Again, we are operating under Central Time, so make sure to complete these labs in a timely manner. The best way to do this is not to wait until an hour before the labs are due. Do them a few days before labs are due, and then you don't have to worry about that deadline. Your proctored exam, the final, it will be through McGraw-Hill's Connect, but it's password protected, and so the proctor will have to open it up for you. So our course outline and weekly schedule, this full semester, again, the syllabus quiz here is due Sunday at the end of the first week at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, or you will be dropped, same as lecture. And then notice that homework or labs, whatever, same thing, are due by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sundays, you guys are going to get sick of me saying that and emailing it to you, but it's very important. Note that in lab, I do not allow extensions, so if you miss the due date, you get a 0. There's no late work accepted. There are no points off for late work. You get a 0. If you miss a lab in person the following week, there would already be a different lab set up, so you can't have late work there. You can't have extensions there. So if you miss the 11:59 p.m. Sunday due date, Central Standard Time, again, you will get a 0 for that lab, so do not wait until the last minute to do these labs, and just stay on top of your work. So now let's go back to Blackboard. Labs are through McGraw-Hill's Connect, so hit the labs here. Right-click, open it up in a new tab. I already have it up here. So this page will come up, and you can click on whatever lab or quiz you'd like to. So if you go home, you can basically click on whatever lab or quiz you want to do. If you go through this, then it'll specifically take you to lab, safety, scientific method, metric measurements. Or you can do that here. It doesn't matter. So I have lab safety up already, so let's preview that. I'm going to preview it as a student. When you get in, your lab instructor right here starts speaking, and you'll see each part, and here is the little written out version of what she's saying. And you'll see each part of the lab and the average amount of time people take in completing each part of the lab. So first, you will start with what's highlighted in yellow. So here it's core concepts, and it takes about 10 minutes average time to work on this. Core concepts is always the intro to the lab. The middle section is where the labs are, and then the bottom will always be your final summary questions, which shouldn't be too hard after completing all of the labs. And over here on the top right corner, you'll see overall mastery, so how much you've finished. So now let's take a look at the resources you have. That's here on the top left. Click on that. Overview will take you back to that first page. So overview takes you to this page. Let's go back there. Reports show you how you've performed. Then you have the library down here. If you're struggling with a part, the library will have notes to help you, so you can read through it for some extra information. This actually comes in really handy when you're doing more complicated labs, because sometimes it'll tell you exactly what to do. Like for a lipid test, for example, there are a couple different ways to do lipid tests, and this library button will help you immensely, so do not ignore that. So again, if you're struggling with a part, the library will have notes to help you, and you can read through it for extra information. Something to take note of, once you start a task, it saves what you do, and you can't go backwards. You have to power through it, so make sure to jot things down, take notes. If you're unsure of something, if you're unsure of something, definitely take down notes, and we'll talk more about notes here in a little bit and a good way and place to take them. Then you have, again, like I said, overall mastery up here. It keeps track of your progress. When you get things right and show 100% mastery, you get 100% credit. Once you complete a section, it saves, but if you're in the middle of an experiment and you want to wait until later to complete it, you have to save it before you leave the assignment because it won't save automatically until you have it completely finished. So the only time it saves while you're actually doing a lab is once you're completely done with the experiment. If you don't and you leave the experiment, you will have to redo it. So a big problem that happens is students don't take notes while doing these online labs, and they don't end up doing too hot on the final. Just remember to take good notes as you're going through, and then you should be fine. So let's go back to Blackboard, and where should you take these notes? So click on the lab notebook. I have OneNote up here. Let's click on that. Open it up in a new tab. OneNote Online. And OneNote is part of Microsoft Office. So you do have access to it through KCTCS. You can find it in Outlook, your email, where it says Office 365. Basically, once you open this, each of you will have your own notebook that you can take notes in. So here you have different sections and labs with notes and procedures. And you have in some of these some video links. How to take a screenshot is a good one. Screenshotting your experiments will help you too. I know enzymes, I've included some videos, so 20 minutes in on the lecture video, enzymes, check that out. It'll give you some extra information if you're struggling with understanding. But anyway, this will be super helpful, especially when we get to some more complicated labs. I've also included links in some of these to Crash Course Biology, and that's on YouTube. I've included links of my own lectures for extra information on some of these labs as well. This is a great place to take notes. You can edit within, you can add another page, you can paste a copy of the screenshots, you can do a lot of things here that will help you study for the final, because the final is the only exam. So keep on top of these or you will forget everything, and then you will have issues with the final, and you'll think it's really hard because you haven't looked at this stuff since day one. So just keep in mind OneNote is here and it is a great tool for you to use. So now let's go back to Blackboard. We have some resources just like in lecture. So you have your library on campus, you have different areas in the community, different online resources for biology. Just look through those. An important note, and computer advice real fast. If a program isn't loading in McGraw-Hill Connect, the reason could be internet. You haven't cleared out your internet search history in a while, and cookies are impeding your performance. If that's not it, then try using a different browser. So if it doesn't work on Google Chrome, it might work in Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer or Safari. Play around with it, see what works best for you. So let's go over here in the labs. So remember how I said everything's due at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Lab safety, for example, is due Sunday, August 20th, 11:59 p.m. Here it says August 21st, 12:59 a.m., which is an hour later because Blackboard is in Eastern Time. So don't go by this. Don't go by this at all. Go by what is written on the syllabus and what's written in the actual McGraw-Hill, because McGraw-Hill is in Central Standard Time. Again, Blackboard is in Eastern Time. If you're in the Central Time Zone and you wait until 12:30, you're going to get a 0, because remember, there aren't any extensions with lab. Make sure you're doing everything on time and by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, or just don't wait until Sunday to do it, and do it in the days before. Just, try to stay on top of these labs. You don't want to get a 0 because you waited too long. Remember to complete the intro and syllabus quiz, which I'll have in the Getting Started tab. and in your announcements. Again, if you have questions, please email me. I respond within 2 business days. The sooner you ask for help, the sooner you get help. However, if you have questions and the answer is in the syllabus, remember the syllabus is your best friend, or if the answers are in this video, I will direct you there. I'm not dismissing you, just making sure you're using the resources that I've provided for you. And remember, computer advice is a great tab for clearing out, for remembering, oh yeah, I should try to clear out my cookies or try to open up something in a different browser. Because that's, I'm not kidding, that's 99% of the issues. And that is all. Good luck to everyone. I hope everyone does a phenomenal job. All right, bye.